Good day, good energy, good guys flew around. It was yesterday was good, today was better, and I expect tomorrow to be even better.
Your thoughts on the Weinstein report? How much have you seen it? Getting nuts and bolts of it at all?
I haven't seen any of it. I doubt I will. You know, I'm getting ready for Virginia, so I'm sure we have plenty of people handling that. You know, all I'll say is, I mean, I'm glad it's done. I'm glad it's over with, and so we can move on. We've been trying to do that, you know, as a program for a while now. So, you know, I'm just glad there's closure to it.
I know you have academic counselors and all those kind of things. How involved, though, personally, are you in the academic process for your players?
Other than stressing the importance of it, yeah, that's about it. I mean, I can't tell you what they're taking, or I mean, I couldn't tell you what one guy's major is right now, but I can tell you what Virginia's going to do. I can tell you what fronts they're running and what they're going to do on offense and what they're going to do on special teams.
What are they going to do?
They're going to get after us. All right, you know, they're really good on defense. They're playing with a lot of confidence right now. You got some age on that defense and some experience. They're really good up front. You know, offensively, they're using both quarterbacks, and they've been effective with both. I think they feel comfortable with both. They're big in the offensive line. They got big receivers. You know, and special teams, I think they're leading the league in kickoff returns. You know, they're a much improved football team.
Pretty good running back too.
Yes, Parks. Yeah, he's done a heck of a job.
Can you put your finger on kind of what the difference is? I mean, why they made that step with pretty much the same staff and a lot of the same roster?
Well, I think you got some age with that group. They've been there with him, you know. I mean, I think those kids are fully immersed in what they're doing, and you know, they're having a good year. I mean, they're having a good year.
You've had big success the last 2 years against them. Is there some common trait with those games?
No, I mean, what's happened in the past will have nothing to do with what happens on Saturday. I mean, it's going to be, you know, Sunday, Tuesday, today, Thursday, and Friday that's going to make the difference.
You guys still gave up a couple of big plays against Georgia Tech, the reverse, obviously, and
then
at the start of the game, the big pass. How do you work on that?
Well, it goes back to, you know, the secondary problems are eye discipline. I mean, it's just, you know, we had a guy that didn't do his job on the reverse. You know, he was trying to help somebody else out and didn't do his job, and it you know, that hurt us. I mean, those are big plays. Is you know, again, when you're talking about a triple option offense, if one guy doesn't take care of his assignment, it's going to be a big play.
Did Carol Folt address the team or the players about the report?
She did. She did.
What was her message?
That we can have great academics and athletics here at the University of North Carolina, and we will.
How have the players kind of, obviously they weren't here when any of this happened, how have they kind of?
They're just, I mean, I'll be honest with you, they're just wanting to get ready for Virginia. That's all they're wanting to do. I mean, they hadn't been much talk about it at all, actually. It's another day for them, and it's you know, it's a Wednesday, and they knew what they had to do practice-wise, and you know, then tomorrow they'll know what we've got to do for Thursday to polish it up.
So did you then invite Folt, or did she just take it on her own to come and talk to the guys?
No, she knew she wasn't going to be able to address them later on tonight, and we have guys that have sessions tonight, so she was willing to come over and do it right before practice.
Have you and your staff had to answer a lot of questions about that in the last couple of years, even though you weren't here when any of that stuff happened, but still had to answer for it because there was that cloud still hanging a little bit?
Only questions, you know, I mean, it's, you know, you have people in recruiting that say a lot of things, and so we have to, you know, a lot of times try to explain to them what's true and what's not true, you know, and so that's really the only thing we've had to deal with.
What improvements have you seen this week to build off of the win at Georgia Tech, or against Georgia Tech?
You know, I just, you know, I think there's a little bit more confidence, a little more bounce in their step. I mean, you always have that after a victory. I mean, and that's always a good thing. I really don't like to see a whole lot of this throughout the season. Well, you know, win or lose, I really want them to come out with the same attitude and practice the same way. And these guys have done a pretty good job of that. They really have. I mean, I know everybody on the outside thinks, well, they had a win, they'll be just flying around, they'll be all giddy and everything. It's still practice. I mean, we come out here, they know exactly what they got to do. We come to work, and their attitudes have been good every week.
Kind of building off that last week, it seemed like a lot of the guys were saying they were desperate for a win and that, you know, it was kind of bad around here. Have you felt at all a momentum shift kind of going back the other direction?
Well, winning cures a lot of things, you know. So it covers up a lot of things too, you know. But there were still mistakes made in that game in all three phases that we've got to get corrected. I mean, you know, fortunately we just made a few more plays than they did at the end.
I feel like we've been getting after it. I mean, I know those last 2 games have been confidence builders for us, so basically running off that.
What have you seen out of the Virginia offense so far?
I've seen they got some pretty big guys, very physical. They got a good running game, so that's one thing we'll have to stop. And get to the quarterback, because I heard they have some pretty big receivers, so we're going to get to the quarterback.
Because it's got to be a relief to not have to prepare for that triple option, right?
I mean, yes, because we don't have to change our whole style of defense or whatever. But I feel like the triple option wasn't even that bad. Like, I feel like we played pretty good with it, and I feel like we're going back to our defense. We'll do good.
Last couple weeks, you guys have gotten a lot more pressure with just the base 4. How important is that to the rest of the defense?
I think it's very important because with the front 4, basically, they say we determine the game. So the D line playing good, I think that determines the game. So